So in this video, we're going to be talking about symbiosis relationships. And there are 3 types of symbiosis relationships, and we'll get into that right now. Number 1 is mutualism. And number 2 is commensalism. And number 3 is parasitism. Alright, so these 3 relationships affect the 2 types of species or both of the parties in their each and own way, and it's not that complicated, but yeah, we'll get into it. So the first one is mutualism, and that is when both sides or both parties, it's when both parties are, whoops, too far, parties, are benefited. So yeah, both parties are benefited in this relationship, such as the goby fish and the shrimp. The goby fish can see anything, but the shrimp has very bad eyesight. So when the goby fish spots a predator or an attacker, it will nudge the shrimp to start digging, and the shrimp will start digging like a little hole or shelter for them to stay inside of until the coast is clear. This helps the goby fish and the shrimp to stay safe and for the goby fish to lay eggs. And they both stay very close to each other for, things like that. The second type is commensalism. It's when only one party is benefited actually. One party is benefited. So the other party is actually not benefited during this because, say for example, a dandelion, right, or some other plant that has seeds inside of it, and it goes, it flies away, it just floats away with the wind. So the seed, it grows into a bigger or better plant or an equivalent plant to the original plant it came from, and that doesn't affect the other party, the first party, the plant that produced the seed. It only affects the actual party, the seed that grew into a bigger and more, a better plant or an equivalent plant. So the last one is parasitism, and that is when one party is benefited. One party is benefited. The other is harmed. Whoops. The other is harmed. So that's pretty, obvious, because we have, parasite right here. And usually when people think of parasite, they think of those worms with a lot of legs, and they live inside humans, or they eat humans. That's not the case. Well, actually it is in sometimes, but parasites actually stay inside of the body of the living thing most of the time. Say for example, tapeworms inside of humans or pigs. Yeah, tapeworms inside of pigs. Pigs eat a lot, and the nutrients or the food that the pig eats gets transferred into the belly or the stomach, and the tapeworm lives inside of that stomach. So when the food gets into the stomach, the tapeworm eats it all and lays more eggs and produces more tapeworms, and so on, so on. the thing about parasites is that it doesn't actually kill its host. It just, keeps it alive so that it can depend on it. Because, like, if the host dies, it also dies. So there's no reason for the parasite to kill it, just to harm it. Like, stomach aches or hunger, And if you go deeper into psychology, this isn't related to science at all. If we did it deep closer into like psychology or religion, these relationships can actually be inside of human life every single day, but I'm not talking about it because this is a science video. And that is all for Symbiosis relationship.